Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we will learn how to use Amazon SES service for sending emails in Node.js applications. So basically, Amazon SES is a simple email service and a cloud-based email solution. So let's get started with the video. First of all, I have already logged into the account as a root user. So you need to if you go to the Amazon console, so you need to create an account, and then if you sign in, you will take back to the console homepage. So before starting with Amazon SES, like we need to create a user. So you need to search for IAM service. So we need to create a user so that we can take the credentials of the user from our Node.js application and communicate with Amazon services. So if we go to users tab and here we can create a new user. So I'm creating a user for this tutorial. So we don't need to enable this because we are gonna have a programmatic access. So here also it is saying if you are creating programmatic, you can also create this. You can provide this access after creating this user. So I'm just clicking on next. Okay. So next thing is we need to attach policy. So here we are looking for SES full access. So if you search for this one, so this is the one we need. Okay, we can click on next. Okay, let's create the user. All right, so we have created a IAM user with SES permissions. So now if you go to if you click on this user now, you can see much more information about the user. So here what we are supposed to do is we need to create the credentials. So you need to go to security credentials tab. And here if you scroll a bit down, you can see access keys. So we need to create one. So you create access key. So you for different use cases, like you can select the option. So in our case, let's go with other options. So it is just an indication that make sure you are storing in a secure place and not showing to the public and all. Okay, let's go to the next step. Create access key. Okay, so now we have created the access key. Now we have to store these keys as environment variables in our Node.js application. So I will create variables and store these values and then come back again. All right, so I have added the environment variables in our project. So let's click on done. Okay, like you can also download the file with this access key and secrets. Go. All right, so we are good with the user part. So now onwards, like let's go back to SES service. So you can search for SES, Amazon simple email service. Select this one. So this is the home page, right? So first of all, we need to create a identity. Like you can see, we need to create and verify a sender identity. So this identity can be, using your domain or an email address if you have one, so that we can send email through Amazon SES. So if you have a domain, then you can configure a new email from that domain, so that you can send emails using that. Also you can, if you have a regular email, then also you can go ahead and proceed. So let's go ahead and create identity. So you can see it is providing the two options. So in this case, I'm going with the email address. So I need to provide the email which I'm going to use for this tutorial. Okay, let's click on create identity. So you can see, so identity status currently it is pending. So what will happen is it will send an email for the verification with a link. So we need to click on that so that it will verify. So let's refresh this. So you can see I have received an email from AWS. So you can see it is asking me to authorize this email for Amazon SES. So let's click on this link. Okay, so we have verified our email address. So let me go back and refresh this page. All right, so our email address is also verified. So we have created identity. So let's go back to our project. Okay, let's open VS Code. So I have already created a project folder and I have created a .env file. So in this file, I have added my access key and secret access key, and also the sender email address, which I have used, which I have verified from AWS, right? Let's install a couple of dependencies here. So you can see, so this is the first command that I have executed for creating this project. So this will create a package.json with the default options. So for this tutorial, let's install AWS SDK as well as .env. All right, so these two packages were installed. Let's clear the screen. So in our project, let's create a file called send email. So let's start with importing the packages. So I have imported the AWS SDK, which we have installed. And then this is the line for accessing environment variables in our project. Okay, so the next thing is, so I have created an object that contains access key ID, secret key, as well as the region. So to get this, like I have already shown, where we have got this information. So for the region, so like if you go to your console, so currently you can see I'm inside Mumbai. So if you click on this drop down, so it will show in which region and the code for it. So for me it is AP South 1. So this is my region value which we need to use in our environment. Okay, now we have to create an instance for this. So here you can observe, like using the AWS SDK. So we are accessing the SES service by passing this configuration object with this information. So now I would like to create a function naming send email. So this is an async function. So this will receive two parameters like recipient email and name. So this is like you need to modify the function so that it matches your requirements. So the recipient email here is the same email I have used for the verification, and the name I'm using the channel name. Here you might ask why we are using the same address for sender and recipient mail address, because if you go back to the dashboard, like you can click on account dashboard. So you can see your Amazon SES account is in sandbox. So in sandbox environment, you can use all the features, but there are certain limitations and restrictions are there. So when you move out of the sandbox, you can increase your limit. So for that, you need to raise a request for production access. Also, you can see for me, it is giving me 200 emails for a 24 hours period. So this can you can increase this limit by raising a production request. Also, the note point is that you can only send mails to the verified emails. So here the sender email address is verified, so you cannot send outside of that. So that's the reason, like you are supposed to move out of the sandbox. So when you are in sandbox, you are supposed to only send emails to the verified emails. So let's get back to our code. So first of all, we need to provide the params, like so you can see there are some options here. So the source email address, so this is the AWS SES sender email address that we have verified. So this I am taking from the environment variable, and here on the destination side, so this is an object that accepts the two addresses property. So here we are mentioning the recipient emails. So this can be multiple emails if you want. So again, so currently I have no reply to addresses, so I'm just keeping it empty. So on the message section, like you can expand. So on the body side, you can see I'm providing the HTML as well as text versions. Like initially it will render the HTML version. If it having any problems, then it will fall back to the text version. So here you can see the character set, what type of encoding you are supposed to use. So UTF-8. So this is the data. So this is the HTML that it will use in the email body. So again, for the text also, it is using the same properties. And again, so we need a subject, right? So again, it follows the same properties, but with you can see I'm going with the simple information. So hello name. So here you can ask. So this is why I'm using the name. Like in the subject, like I want to print the name. So whichever information I would like to pass. So that's why I'm taking name from the function call, and that is where I'm passing here. Okay, so next thing is, so we have created a params object. So now, so let me open the try catch block. So if we encounter any errors, so we can go ahead and print out. So inside try block, like I want to add a two lines. So here you can see I'm using the AWS SES object. So here this is from this place, like we are using this one. So from this object, like I'm calling send mail method, and here we are passing the params. So these are the mail options that we have created. So this will return, so we need to make it as a promise so that we can handle it. So I'm using the async await approach here, so that's why I'm using the await. So now if the mail sends successfully, then it will go ahead and execute this line. Okay, so let's save this file. So let's go ahead and try to run this execution. Okay, you can see it has given some note warning. They're planning to enter, JavaScript version 2 into the maintenance mode in 2023. So they are suggesting us to migrate our code to JavaScript SDK version 3. Okay, so I will provide some solutions how to handle these things. So you can observe, like, the email has been sent. So we are getting this response object as well. So let me go back to browser and verify whether we have received the mail. Okay, you can see I have received one new mail. So let me open this. Okay, so let's, if you provide proper content, I hope this won't become a spammy. So I'm just, okay, so this is the text body, and this is the subject we have used. You can see the name was properly rendering here. Okay, let's go back to the code base. Okay, so currently if you observe, like in package.json, AWS SDK, so we are in the version 2.1395. Okay, there are some alternative solutions for this to handle it. One thing is, like, you can suppress this warning still being in version 2. So for example, I'm just adding one more line here. So you can see, so from this SDK library, maintenance mode message, I'm trying to suppress it to true by enabling this. So if I save this one, so I'm just going back to the terminal again. I'm going to send the mail again. So you can see that warning message has been suppressed, and you can see the expected message again. Sorry, we received the message again. All right. So now we are supposed to update our code base, right? So that we will make use of version 3. So if I go back to browser again, so you can find this article on Amazon. So I will share these links. So you can see that Amazon is making use of modular approach in AWS SDK. Why it is? So the motivation behind it is, like, you can see in the version 2, it is an entire single package, right? So when we import this one inside our application, so even though we are using a subset of functionalities like SES, S3 bucket, or some other services, so you can see there are some performance implications, right? Where having a big code base is a problem. So you can reduce the size of your application by eliminating the dead code, like some modules which we are not using. So we don't need those things. So we can get rid of them. So previously, like, you can see this is how you are importing the entire package, right? So in version 3 and all, so you can make use of them, like you can import the individual packages whichever is required. So I'm just going to install this package now. So I will show the solution how to make use of them. Okay, let me open the Windows. So I'm going to install that, so as a separate module. So let me press enter. All right, so the package is installed, like, again. So I'm going back to package.json. So you can see now currently we are using this client individual components, so which is version 3.3. So it is up to you as per your requirement whether you want to proceed with this approach or this one. So I'm just providing the solutions on how to use the modular approach. Okay, now, so I'm going to create a new file. So version 3. We have to import again the library. So from AWS SDK, so we are importing the client SES. So this is related for email service. So here you can see I'm importing the client as well as email command, send email command. So again, this is referred to the environment. So again, our configuration. So here you can observe like the difference is that in this configuration object, like I have a individual properties for the credentials and the region. So previously we have these three properties in the same object, but in while using this client SDK, so you are supposed to follow this approach. So I have placed access key and secret key inside credentials and the region outside it. Okay. So now we need to create the SES object, service object, using that client constructor. Okay, so now you can see I'm passing this configuration to this client, and we are initiating an object, instantiating an object. So again, I'm going to create a new function, and we need to, so again, so let me take this line again. So again, here you can see we need to provide the mail options. So in the params object, like you can see, again, we have a source, we have destination, which is similar to previously. So these things are same, like these are common. So again, I'm opening one more try catch block. So inside this try block, so here you can see we need to first of all pass this options to the send mail command, which we have imported from this SDK, and this object we are supposed to pass to the client we have created. So using the client, we need to call the send method, and to that we need to pass this email command. Okay, so we have provided our mail options, and we are creating the email command, send command, and from the using the SES client, we are calling the send command. So, okay, let me save this and go back to the terminal. So this time we will execute the version 3 approach. Okay, so I'm executing this. Okay, it seems like we are encountering an error. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, we have installed a wrong package here. So, okay, let me go back. So we need to uninstall this. I'm really sorry. So we are supposed to install this client SES, which is related to email service, not the S3 module. Okay, so now you can say I have uninstalled the previous one, and we have now SES 3.3 version. Okay, I think now we are good to execute this. Okay, let me go back. Okay, now I can see one more mail which is coming. All right. So initially we have used AWS SDK, like using this approach, like we were encountering some warning maintenance mode, right? So in order to fix that, we have used this suppress command, and the other alternative solution is to migrate to version 3 using this approach, modular approach. Okay, so the next thing I want to show, so if I go back to the AWS dashboard, so here you can see on the configuration section, you can see email templates. Okay, so this is the previous template I have created. So we can also create email templates and then we can make use of them in our Node project. So let's see how to create a template from our Node application, and then we can make use of that. So let's create a new file. So in order to create the template, so again from our client SES library, so we need to import this client as well as create template command. So again, the configuration and creating a service object is same. So you can see a config object with credentials and region, and we are creating a client, SES client, using that configuration. So here I'm going to create a function called run, and to this, so I will provide the template name. Okay, so inside this, so now you can observe this one, like so we are creating an template object using this create template command by providing some options to this. So you can also observe that template feature in SES is based on handlebar template system. So that's why, if you have any dynamic data, then you need to use the handlebar way of using applications. So double curly braces. So here you can see the first object, the only object inside this is template option. So inside it, you are supposed to provide the name, template name. So here we are receiving as a function parameter. So the HTML part, so you can provide your HTML code as per your requirement, and again simply the text version and the subject part. So this is how you will create a template by providing the template data. Okay, so now so we have created the template command, right? So from this onwards, like again so here you can see using the client. So we are calling the send method by passing this create template object. So this will create a template in our SES dashboard. So let me save this. Okay, so the template has been created. So this is our coming from our log and then the response object. Okay, let me refresh this again. All right, now I can see the template is created. Let's go back to our code, and this time, so I'm just going to create one more file. So template mail using version 3. So here you can see, so again from the client package, so this time we are using the template email command. The configuration and creating the service object is same. So let's create this function, and so while calling this, we are supposed to mention so which template we want to use, and then so the mail address that we want to use. So here I'm using this. Okay, so the template we have created is this one, right? So let's make use of this. All right, so now we need to make use of this send template command. So we need to create an object using that constructor. So here you can see, so if you pass the template like this in your template, if you pass information like this, so it will interpret in your mail body like this. So here you can see the destination, the to recipient mail address, source. These things are common for all the places, right? So here you can observe, so to the template we need to provide the template name whichever we are passing here. So from the parameters, like we need to pass that this is the template data. So this is the dynamic data that we want to. So here I'm updating this to this name. So we need to stringify this so that it will be in a JSON format. And so this is the name property that we are making use of inside the template. Like if I expand this, so you can see in the HTML part we are accessing this property, right? So this is coming from this template data, which is the dynamic data. All right, so now we need to pass this object to our send command from our SES client. So you can see using our client, I'm calling send method by passing this template command. So let me save this. So this time, previously you can observe like on the mails, like the text, this is the text body of my email, right? So now this time with a new mail, the template should be different. So let's execute that. So you can see I'm executing this file. So this is based on the template that we have created. Okay, so email with the template has been sent. Okay, now you can see this time we got a new mail. So if I open this, so you can see the subject is different. You can see this is that in the HTML, like we are making use of the name, right? So this is the thing, and again this is the paragraph that we are using inside it. That's all about the video, guys. So let me open the code base again. So totally we have covered sending an email using the AWS SDK by importing this library, and during this approach, like we have encountered the migration warning. So we have resolved that by suppressing this, as well as we have used another approach using the modular approach, right? So this is that one. So after this one, we have learned how to create a template, so based on our requirement, and then sending an email using the template. So this is the one. I will provide a few documentation links that will help you to better understand it. Just go through these things, to better understand why we need a modular approach and all. I hope you find this video helpful. Do like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and we will meet in another video. Until then, take care. Bye.